Hello everybody, so this video here is going to be about the Benjamin Marauder, and I don't normally make airgun videos, but I had a question recently on one of the airgun videos I've made in the past, and so that question was, they were asking about the Benjamin Marauder here. This is in 25 caliber. I had the question from 3,000 to 2,000 PSI about how many shots are you going to get out of this gun. And of course, right along with that question was to fill it back up from 2,000 PSI to 3,000 PSI, how many pumps does it take? And I realized, I didn't know the answer to that question right off hat. I've never actually sat down and looked at the numbers exactly. So today, what I'm going to do is the gun is filled up to 3,000 PSI, and I'm going to use as many shots as necessary of these Benjamin 25 caliber pellets. These are the 27 grain pellets, very common and easy to get for the Benjamin Marauder. And we're going to see how many shots we get. So I'm at 3,000 PSI, and just as a reminder for everybody, this gun here is completely stock. There are no modifications to this gun, and I know in the air gunning community, modifications are very popular, but this is just how it comes out of box. So I've never done anything to this rifle other than just putting on a scope. This is a Simmons 39x50 scope, and I'm just going to be shooting up at a steel target I have about 25-30 yards away. So this is just for fun, but what I'm really looking at here is we're going to keep an eye on the gauge and see how many shots we get per 1,000 PSI. Because 2,000 to 3,000 PSI is probably the range that most people are going to be keeping this gun at. So let's see how it performs in that range. So let's just get started. Okay, first 8 shots. We are approximately 2,600 PSI right now. And again, I can't zoom in with the camera, but we're right at the 2,600 mark, and we started at 3,000 PSI. So let's fill up another magazine. And so again, I don't have a chronograph, so I can't tell you what the speeds are as the pressure goes down. But I think it's safe to assume that between 2,000 and 3,000 PSI, this gun is shooting at its working pressure. And so most of the shots you're going to get in that range are going to be usable shots. Okay, so we're on our second magazine. Let's see how we do. Okay, second 8 shots. So we're at 16 shots in now, and we are at between 22 and 2,300 PSI. So I don't think I'm going to get another full magazine through. And if it looks like I'm fiddling with that last round on this magazine, I think the spring on this particular magazine is getting weak. So the last pellet always has a hard time seating in the chamber, so it gets caught up on the bolt. So let's fill it up again, see how far we get. Okay, so I filled it up with another 8 shots. Let's see if we get through all 8. I think I'm going to check it after every 2. just to see where the gauge is at. Okay, so we are at 2150, I would estimate. So let's try a few more shots. Right now we are just a tad above 2,000, so I think that answers the question. That was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 shots that we got from 3,000 PSI down to 2,000. I'm going to take one more just because we're on the upper side of 2,000 according to the gauge on the gun now. So let's just do one more, see where it drops down to. Square at 2,000 PSI. So in this example, we're getting 21 shots to get you from 3,000 to 2,000. I think 21 is a nice number to say. So again, you guys can't see that zoomed in, but we went from 3,000 PSI to 2,000 PSI, 21 shots of these Benjamin 27 grain pellets. So these, again, very common ammo, so I think you're going to get similar results. I don't think pellet weight's going to make a huge difference in the number of shots, maybe one, if any, but I think that's an accurate representation of what the Benjamin Marauder can do. And again, this is without any modification. I know you can do a lot of great things to these rifles and make them very long lasting and very saving on air. But for this particular one, for those of you interested in purchasing one just out of the box, this is what you can expect to get. So next we're going to check out how many pumps it takes to get this guy from 2,000 PSI up to 3,000. And so if you're going to empty the gun entirely, it's quick to get up to 2,000, but then getting from 2 to 3 can be quite a chore, especially if you're using a hand pump. And so the hand pump I'm going to be using is the same as in my prior airgun video. The brand name is Tau USA. I don't think they're a big company. I got it on Amazon for relatively cheap, I want to say. And you can find Chinese clones of the same pump all over eBay for 40 bucks or so. And those are very economical pumps, and for the most part they work really well. The one I had assembled quickly, really no issues, and it's been fairly reliable since then. So that's going to be the cheapest way you get into PCP air gunning. So we're going to take a look at that next and see how many pumps it takes to get up to 3,000 PSI again. So I'll be right back. Alright, so the gun is right at 2,000 PSI. We just finished shooting. Let's just pump it up and see how many pumps it takes to get it back up to 3,000. So I'll fast forward this because otherwise it's going to take a while. And again, when you're pumping up a gun, you want to make full, complete strokes with the pump, like you see here. So I'll do my best to take my time. So we're around 60 pumps right now, and that got the gun to about 2,500 PSI. So let's see if another 60 gets it back up to 3,000. Alright, so we're at approximately 100 pumps now. Let's check out where it's at. It's a little bit shy of 3,000. A few more will do it. Let's try another 10. Alright, let's take a closer look. And we are at 3,000 PSI. So that was about 110 pumps. If I have any commentary to make, if you're going to buy one of these inexpensive pumps, the only complaint I have with this model is that The legs are wobbly. See how it wants to fall over? The legs are not flat with the ground, so if your feet aren't on it, the thing's going to tip over. So that's one downside to these cheap pumps, but other than that, not too bad at all. So I'll give it 2 more for good measure. All right. Bleed the air out, and we're going to call it good. So I mentioned in my last video as well, I have this moisture reservoir right here, which basically tries to block moisture from getting inside of the gun's chamber. So this is actually an add-on that came separately, but I decided to purchase it just in case any moisture was threatening to mess with the Marauder's air tank. So that's an optional purchase, but you can find these from the same sellers that tend to sell these. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions about the video, anything I did that was not clear, please do let me know. But other than that, thanks for watching and have a nice day.